G'day everyone, and welcome back to the Boy Oh Boy Well We podcast, where today we have Mac Wright on for feature number two. Mac, thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on today, mate. Appreciate it.
No worries, mate. Thanks for having me back.
Well, good. We'll start off with obviously the BBL. Obviously, you didn't play much early on, but then you got your opportunity probably midway through the season and really took that. How did that opportunity sort of come about?
Yeah, so basically, a couple of our blokes got injured. Ben McDermott had concussion, and Wadey was a bit stiff in the back. So, yeah, I got my opportunity to come in and play, which was a bit unexpected, but no, it worked out nicely, and luckily managed to make a few, which got me another game or two, and then yeah, just managed to play a few games back to back, which was nice.
Yeah, what's it like? Obviously, not playing early on and coming in once the season started. Do you still have that confidence to back your own game, or do you sort of build that up through innings in the tournament?
It's a tough one. Coming in as a bit of a replacement. Basically, the way I approached it was just I didn't have much to lose really. I just figured I'd go out there and try and play a way that sort of expressed myself and sort of showed what I could do. And yeah, it was lucky that it came off, and I sort of was able to leave those games feeling like I'd actually shown what I had to offer, and yeah, and it resulted in me getting a few more games, which was nice.
Yeah, what was it like to perform well this season? Obviously, after not starting the tournament from that first game, obviously to come in and then perform and play your role. What was that like for you personally?
Yeah, it was nice because I've never really got to play many games back to back. So actually getting the opportunity to sort of feel like I have a place in the squad and to sort of hold that for the back half of the tournament was nice, and it can give me a bit of confidence going into next season that hopefully I can hold that number three spot and be able to contribute to some wins for the Hurricanes.
Yep. How disappointing was it to miss out on finals this year? Obviously, you're right in contention for most of the tournament, apart from those last probably two games against Adelaide. But how disappointing was that? Obviously, because you were so close.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating and a bit annoying because we feel like we have the squad to make finals and to go deep, but unfortunately, the last couple of years we haven't been able to pull it together as a team. So I think next year provides a really good opportunity for us to work on a few things and actually make use of the depth in our squad that we have, and to hopefully make finals, because we do feel that if we can pull everything together at the right time, I think we can go a long way and get deep in the in the contest. So yeah, look, just frustrating, really.
Yep. Now moving on to obviously the power surge is a big thing in the Big Bash. How did you, when you were batting in that surge, or when you were batting when you were taking it, what were sort of discussions around then with when taking it and how to attack that?
Yeah, there's lots of different ways you can approach it in terms of, yeah, when you take it, how hard to go. So our discussions were kind of around how many wickets down we were at the time. If we still were like one or two down, we were trying to take it pretty early, kind of like around the 11th to 13th over. But um, if we had lost a few wickets, then we were looking at taking it a bit later, sort of around the 15th to 17th over. Um, and then yeah, once you do take it, it can be quite challenging because you just feel like you want to try and hit every ball for six, which often results in the surge being able to take wickets for the bowling team. So I'm not sure a team has really figured it out very well yet. Given it's a few years old now, I think teams will start sort of playing it a bit better in the coming seasons. But yeah, it's not, you're not really going to win the game in those two overs, but I think you can kind of hurt your position you were in going leading into it. So it is a tough one, but yeah, I think the teams that do well just have good discussions and good communication around when taking it and how to approach it once you do take it.
Yeah, and obviously it can really boost your innings as well. I think there was a game against against the Renegades where you're probably just going over a run of ball, and then you took that surge and really propelled your innings and got into a nice winning position.
Yeah, yeah. It helps a player like me having only two blokes out, and with the field up. So, yeah. Look, I was lucky that it sort of timed nicely in my innings that I'd faced enough balls and had the pace of the wicket, so that when it did come time for the surge, I could take advantage of that, and that really did help me, like improve my strike rate a bit and get a few away, which was nice.
Yeah, and over the sort of the tournament, who are the main people that helped you out to really improve your game?
Wadey's always good to bat with out in the middle. He just provides a lot of calmness because he obviously scores so quickly. It takes the pressure off you big time at the other end. So he's nice to bat with, and he manages to pass on some handy thoughts and suggestions around how you're going in your innings. Ben McDermott's always good. I've played a lot of club cricket with him too when he was playing down in Tasmania. So he's always been a good one for me because I feel like he knows my game pretty well. And then I think Nathan Ellis, he's been really good this season as captain. He just provides a lot of calmness, and he gives you a lot of confidence going out there. He trusts in the way that you play, and he just really wants you to go out and express yourself. So it's nice to know that your captain is supporting you like that, and you have the freedom to go out and play the way you want to.
Yep. And what was it like playing with some obviously new international players this year? Who was it? Chris Jordan, Sam Hain, and Corey Anderson. How were they around the group? And did you learn a bit off them? Obviously, Jordan's played a lot of T20 cricket around the world. So, what did they sort of
Yeah,
offer you?
yeah, they were really good. In multiple aspects. That both the experience they provide, obviously they've played lots of cricket around the world and they're very experienced, but also just you want your overseas players to come and add a bit of personality around the group too, which was nice. Yeah, so if you got people that you feel you can go up and approach and ask them for advice and they're willing to share sort of their learnings over the years, that makes a really good overseas player to come into a group like ours. So yeah, like CJ was awesome. Um, it was really reliable with the ball and managed to have a few handy innings as well. He's a very cool character, so he doesn't get too flustered when you are sort of in the heat of battle. Corey Anderson was really good as well, just a really calm guy, and obviously has skills with both the bat and the ball. But he's just a lovely guy. As soon as you speak to him, you just want to keep having a chat with him. And Haney, although he didn't have the tournament that he was hoping for, he's a legend. He's a lovely guy, and he's really talented. And we've seen enough of him in the other leagues around the world to know he's a gun. So hopefully for him, moving forward with his summer over in the UK, he can have some success. And we really enjoy just having all three of them, to be honest.
Yep. Who are some of the toughest bowlers you faced in the tournament this year?
Oof. I mean, they're all pretty tough. I faced Majib for the first time this year. So he's quite a difficult one to pick out of the hand. Um, yeah, it's just very unconventional. You don't really face anything like it normally, and it's coming quite quick. So he was quite a tough one to pick. I think Jamie Overton for the strikers, he bowled quite a heavy ball. He's quite a big boy, and he just slams a sort of a hard length, and he can be difficult to get away. Um, but yeah, look, I think most sides usually have a pretty good spinner that has a few tricks up their sleeve, and they're quite cagey with their changes of pace. So, um, but yeah, I reckon those blokes sort of stood out who were quite challenging to face.
Yep. And obviously Pete Hatscliffe come over to the Canes this year. What was it like having him and Paddy Dooley in the same sort of squad?
Yeah, Pete's a character. I got a lot of time for him. He's funny. He's a quirky bloke. But it's nice having guys that are a bit different and add a bit of variety to a change room. So yeah, sadly for Pete, he didn't get to play as many games as he would have liked because we did have Dooley, who Dools has done really well for us these last two seasons, and he's a great one to have around the group. He's a legend, and It feels like he's really understood his craft now, which is good. Pete's around for another year as well, so hopefully he gets a bit more opportunity next year. But like they're both rippers. They're both different. They're unique, but they're really good to have in a side.
Yep. And what's next for you? Obviously, the Big Bash is finishing up tonight. So what's the next sort of 6 to 12 months look like for you?
So yeah, we're just back into Tassie stuff now. So with the back half of our domestic season, sort of a mix of Shield games, one days, and for me probably just a bit of second 11 cricket as well. We have a few games. Um, yeah, I'll finish off the club season for Lindisfarne, and then I'll head over to the UK and play a club season. I've been over the last 2 seasons playing for East Molesey in the Surrey Premier League. So um, yeah, look, just cricket year round for me basically, which is nice. Get to do a bit of travel when I'm over in Europe, which is awesome, and then I'll come back, have a little bit of a pre-season with Tassie, and then we'll get stuck back into it again. So it's never stops, which is nice.
Yeah, what's that experience going over to England like for you? Obviously, different conditions to what it is here in Australia.
Yeah, it does take a bit of adjusting. My first season I went over there, it was actually a really hot summer, so I went over expecting green, juicy, steaming wickets that you hear about in England, but um, yeah, I was greeted with really dry, dusty wickets when I went over there, and lots of spin bowling. So it was quite different to what I was expecting, but a lot less pace on the ball. The wickets are quite slow, and the wickets deteriorate throughout a day quite quickly. Like in Australia, we'll get multiple games out of the same wicket. They're rock hard, but over there, like club games, by the second innings of a game, like the wickets just falling to pieces. So yeah, just softer, slower wickets with not much pace on the ball. So you've just got to change your game slightly. But it's a good experience adjusting to those foreign conditions, and you can definitely learn a lot from having seasons over there, and then having the added pressure of being the club's pro. You're expected to win the club lots of games and to perform well. So when you're not doing that, it can get quite stressful and adds another challenge on top of the foreign conditions.
Yep. And what's sort of your goal, short-term goal for Tassie? Obviously, you finished off the summer here. What are you trying to get out of obviously the Shield and the one day season there?
Well, I'd love to get into the Shield side. I haven't been in the squad yet this year, so it'd be nice to get into that squad and playing some first class cricket for Tassie again this season. And then our one day team, we're unfortunately unable to make the final for that. But yeah, look, I think hopefully just try and get a couple of wins. I think we have 2 games left, so trying to get a couple of wins and take some momentum into next season, really.
Yep. Oh, that's all I got, mate. Thanks for that.
No worries, mate. All good. Thanks for having me.
Mm.